Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's edition of the Maconi Setup Shop A-Fix Tutorials. This week we're looking at the Daytona International Speedway, so strap in and let's get to it. Because this is a super speedway, again, we typically only cover just like the way to qualify and little things to do to try to improve your lap time because track position is always nice to have around here. With the draft, you know you can go from back to the front anytime. Um, But really, if you're trying to start up front, typically that's where you're going to miss most of the wrecks statistically. Doesn't always happen that way, but starting up front is a nice feeling at a super speedway because you just know that you're fast. So mentally, hopefully, it helps you guys. Getting off of the apron is very important. I feel like it's very overlooked, especially here. Talladega and Atlanta, you can run wide open on the apron, right? So you can build up all that speed. Here, you can't. So getting off of the apron is very important, and I'll try to dive into that a little bit later in the video. For right now, this lap here specifically was done in fourth gear. Okay, just to demonstrate you the difference of fourth and fifth gear. You'll see it on the in-car too, the RPM difference. I feel like fourth gear is just way too high, and I actually feel like fifth gear is bogged down a little too much, especially for my liking. But fifth gear, you're a lot closer to the power band range than you are in fourth gear, so you're able to build a little more speed down the back straightaway, and that also sets you up for the last half of your lap. Cutting the apron to finish your qualifying lap is crucial. That's a few free hundredths right there. So if you don't cut the apron and somebody else does, and you're running very similar lap times, chances are they will beat you. So it's important to be smooth everywhere on the racetrack, especially cutting the apron, because if you're too quick, um, you can get out of control, obviously, because it's flat, and you obviously don't want that. Okay, watching the inputs, if you guys get a chance to, uh, it's important to just be incredibly smooth around here. That's where you make your speed. Um, you don't want to be playing with the wheel a whole lot. As you can see with me, my wheel is as smooth as it gets, in my opinion. I don't think it really gets any smoother. Real quick, getting off of the apron there, the access road in between the two grass patches is where I like to get onto the gas. It's important to know that you don't want to be sliding your tires too much on the apron. Okay, so it's important to be smooth. You guys can go back through this video at any point and watch how I'm getting off and just watch my throttle input. Okay, I'm not rushing it. I'm waiting until the car is gripped up and I'm trying to get off as straight as possible. If you can come off the apron around 150 miles an hour, you're doing it right. Okay, shifted into fifth gear off of turn 4. Okay, and then the rest of the lap is all about just being smooth. All right, I'd like to use about half the racetrack because that's where the car naturally wants to run itself. If you watch coming off the corner, I'm not fighting the wheel. I'm not trying to keep the car on the yellow line. I'm letting the car drive itself up. Okay? And this is about as far as it wants to go up, which is perfect because I'm still under the seam and it sets me up for turn 3. It's a nice straight entry, very little wheel input, and again, you can see the wheel there, very smooth. Okay, if you're swatting flies in the corner here or you're just not smooth, you're scrubbing speed because of how much you're moving the front tires. Okay, little things like that with the lap at Daytona, and that's um, realistically that's where your lap is made. Okay, it's all about being smooth and it's all about keeping your speed up. Okay, especially on the back straightaway. If you're not very smooth in 1 and 2, whether you hit the apron or you're playing with the wheel a little too much, you're not going to be able to carry that momentum down the back straightaway. All right. There's a in-car reference for you guys to get off of the pit road and off the apron, and you can see the RPMs here. They're going to shoot up to about 8,700 RPM, and that's just it's too much RPM, which is why I don't think fourth gear is good enough. The kicker out of all of this is it really doesn't matter what gear you use in qualifying. I'm just showing you which one's faster because the ultimate deciding factor is the wind. As sad as it is to say, it's a lottery with the wind, so you could go out and run a perfect lap, but if you catch a gust at a bad time, it could hurt your lap or really help your lap. Uh, but again, this is more so for you guys to see how to do it, right? Very important to stay off the wall, whether you're getting up to speed or wherever you decide to run on the racetrack. Especially getting up to speed, you want to make the racetrack as long as possible to build your speed up. But if you get too close to the wall, then you have to deal with the wall proximity. Okay, and that slows you down a lot. It kills your lap. It's easily 2 to 3 miles an hour slower, and at a track like this, that it's everything. Okay. Again, not a whole lot to go over. Just being nice and smooth, and you know, hoping that you get a good wind and are able to set a good lap time. Okay, I'll fast forward it here, and then once we get to our money lap, I'll be quiet for the whole thing, and you guys can get a visual without me commentating. Okay guys, that'll just about do it for this video. Once again, I can't emphasize it enough how important it is to be smooth with your inputs. If when you watch me doing these laps for you guys, just if you notice my wheel, just notice how little movement there is. There's not a whole lot of secrets to making speed around Daytona other than naturally just being smooth. Um, Getting a good wind is going to make or break your lap regardless, so it's kind of a lottery. But if you do all the things right and you hit the best lap you can, more often than not, I feel like you will be rewarded. So again, it is what it is. Getting off of pit road is important because if you get off of pit road, say at 146 miles an hour compared to somebody at 151, they've already got that big of an advantage on you, right? Um, Staying away from the wall, just doing all the little things right. That's really the only way to make speed around Daytona. Okay, guys, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything you want to touch base on, please leave a comment down below. Last thing, it is very important when you are doing these races to run a brake package that you are comfortable with. It doesn't have to be what I have in this video. It doesn't have to be what I run. If it comes to missing a wreck, you want to be confident that the brakes that you're using are good enough to either slow you down to miss the wreck without locking up or spinning out, right? The last thing you want to do is see a wreck, get on the brakes, and be a part of the wreck because you don't know what to expect. Okay, so it's very important when you're doing these races, run a brake package that you are comfortable with. Okay, if you find that this video is helpful in any way, please consider leaving a like. And as always, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you can see these videos every Monday when they're posted on the Maconi YouTube page. Okay guys, best of luck this week, and we'll see you out on the track.